problem Trump has now is he's got the E. Jean Carroll lawsuit for $83.3 million. It's now over 90 because of interest, I think. And then he's got $355 million for the state of New York for his fraud trial, which is now over $460 million.
Oh man!
So the E. Jean Carroll case, the $83.3 million. So this is how it works. You get the judgment. Once the judgment's issued, you get 30 days to post a bond, okay, or to put up the cash at the court if you're going to appeal. And that'll stop them, that'll put a stay on the execution of the judgment until the appeal comes through. If you don't, after 30 days, the judgment goes into effect and they can execute the judgment even if you're appealing. Right? So what that means is this. Trump has to put, for E. Jean Carroll, he's got to put up $83.3 million. It's actually closer to like 110 because he's got to factor in interest on all that. So it ends up being like 120% of whatever the current rate is. So it's going to be like 120, 10 or 20 million, something like that he'd have to put up in a bond or in cash or something like that. Or he'd have to put up assets. Not that his assets are necessarily worth anything, because most of them are leveraged to the hilt. I mean, so he'd have to put up that money in 30 days to stop the execution of the judgment. Well, I think it's either today or tomorrow or Monday or something like that. It's in the next day or so, or it's today. I can't remember what the exact date was. He's got to have that bond up, and he hasn't. And if that's the case, E. Jean Carroll's lawyer, Roberta Kaplan, is going to start, she basically just goes to the sheriff's department or the feds, and she just says, hey, here's a list of his assets. Here's the judgment. Go seize his shit and get us our money. So they can start seizing Trump properties, freezing his bank accounts if he doesn't get this money. It doesn't look like he has it. He did say he could get a $100 million bond, but I don't know if that was true. But Alina Habba tried to delay this a couple times and fucked it all up. And we're going to watch Bet My Salsa the Midas Touch.
I am so shocked, given she cannot fill out paperwork.
I know.
I mean...
Oh, God. She's such an idiot.
Instead of Trump Tower, maybe when I go downtown, I'll be walking by Carroll Tower.
The Carroll Tower. Should probably rename it the Hillary Hotel, just to piss everybody off. Anyway.
That'd be so funny. Oh my goodness.
Anyway, let's click over this. So, Ben Mysalis is going to make fun of Alina Habba a little bit. I just want to pile on.
I'll tell you something. Somebody said to me, Alina, would you rather be smart or pretty? And I said, oh, easy. Pretty. I can fake being smart.
I always like to show that clip of Alina Habba before she files something entirely frivolous, which means I show that clip a lot. Now, in the E. Jean Carroll case, Alina Habba has filed two separate motions. One, she's asking the federal judge, Lewis Kaplan, as a matter of law, under Federal Rule 50B, to throw away the jury's 80...
And I just want to make a quick note. Both these motions are last minute. They wait until the 11th hour to file these fuckers.
$3.3 million verdict that was entered against Donald Trump. And she says that just reverse it. The jury got it wrong. Federal Judge Lewis Kaplan declared that Donald Trump was actually the winner of the trial that he lost. And
I mean, like, were all of these people dropped on their heads really, really hard? Like, what is happening? What is happening?
I don't know what she's smoking or drinking, but we got to try it sometime. That is so good.
It's gone beyond even being funny. It's all just, like, super weird. Like, what is happening?
God, I wish... Isn't that hilarious? Your Honor, I know we lost the trial, and... I know we got the judgment from the jury of $83.3 million, but can't you just reverse that and say it didn't happen and that Trump won? And of course, you have a ton of incentive because we did nothing but talk shit about you the entire fucking hearing and give death threats against you and your staff. And you only had to correct me because I couldn't fucking deliver evidence in court because I didn't know how many times. And I had to yell at you and talk shit about you to the press. but just reverse it. They're like children. Can you just forget that?
Well, I mean, they figured they could do that with an entire election, so why couldn't they do that with court too?
Oh my god, they're fucking spoiled children. Okay, well let's watch a little bit more because this just cracks me the fuck up. I can't believe. Just reverse it. Yeah, you can do that. Fuck the jury.
Then a few minutes later, Alina Habba then filed a separate motion under Rule 59 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, requesting that the federal judge grant a new trial or remit or lessen the damages, because Alina Habba says that the jury awarded E. Jean Carroll way too much money for the defamation by Donald Trump against his sexual assault victim, and that the judge should reduce the damages significantly or grant a new trial. I kid you not. I want to...
I mean, like, seriously, if you're the judge and this is the shit that you're like getting, it's coming across your desk, it'd be like, are you freaking kidding me right now?
Oh my god!
Like you're sending me paperwork saying it's too high. Why? Because he doesn't have the money? Is that why it's too high?
Well, what I really love about how stupid this is the order in which it happens and the time frame. All right, here it is, like day 29. Day 30, the month you have to put up the bond, otherwise they can execute and start seizing your shit. So here we are, day 29. Literally the afternoon before, the evening before, right? I'm gonna file a motion saying, hey, just reverse the judgment. Just reverse it. At the 11th hour. And if the judge is going to do that, he's got to do that like ASAP. He's got to jump on it like this morning. Which of course he's not going to do. Why would he fucking do that? Right? On top of that, okay, so first motion, just reverse it. The 11th hour. Okay, a few minutes later. Oh, and if that doesn't work, can you reduce the amount? Or, give us another trial. Just throwing every fucking thing at the wall to see what sticks, man. It's so fucking hilarious. Oh, did you freeze on me there? Jesus, oh yeah. God. You just don't find it as funny as I do, apparently.
I find it super obnoxious, actually. Like, because if I were a judge getting this stupid shit across my desk, I would be like, are you high? Did you get dropped on your head? Like, what the fuck is your problem? I would be so irritated at how late it is, and irritated about how just stupid it was.
Oh god, completely stupid.
And kind of insulting. Why don't you just reverse it? Like, really?
Well, and then
no.
I think he gets into it later, but I'll just sum it up real quick. In her motion and affidavit, she basically says, well, this trial should have been a mistrial because you didn't let Trump say everything he wanted to say. So really, it's your fault, Your Honor. Oh, and by the way, can you reverse it? It's like, it just fucking kills me.
Oh my goodness.
Well, because if he does anything, when you say something like that, if he does anything, he's basically conceding that, okay, yeah, it was my fault. Why would he do that? Especially when it wasn't his fault.
No.
Oh, man. So just incredibly stupid. And then we'll cut through. There's a couple articles we can look at real quick, but just we'll go in here. So basically, yeah, the judge in the civil case, the civil fraud case, denied his request to delay the enforcement of the $355 million penalty. That comes up in like 20 days, less than that. So that's going to be $460 million with interest right now. So he's going to have to come up with close to $500 million for a bond or some sort of cash payment, or put up his properties, which I don't think he has. I don't think he can do that. And then the E.G. and Carroll one, we just looked at that. They requested a new trial, which was all stupid. And then E.G. and Carroll's response her lawyer's response was basically, there's no legal basis for this. This is bullshit. We want our money. And you got to remember, this is all after last week when they basically said to the judge, hey, can we get an extra stay on this, right? They've already asked this several times. And, judge, and their argument was, well, Trump's got the money. E.G. and Carroll's lawyer argued that, yeah, he says he's worth billions and all this. So Trump's good for it. So you don't have to worry about it. So you can just give us a stay on the execution of the judgment because we're good for it. And then E.G. Carroll's lawyer came back and said, fuck that. No. He just got tagged for almost $500 million in the fraud trial. We want our money now. We're first in line.
If he's good for it, pay it.
Yeah, then he should just pay it. But that's the thing, is if he had the money, he would have paid it and put the stay on it, because he doesn't lose that money until he loses an appeal.
Right.
So he could have just put a stay on all this and delayed having to pay all this shit. I mean, the money would be, in an escrow account, essentially, with the court, but he could have delayed a lot of this shit and nobody would be trying to go seize his properties or seize his bank accounts. But now, once that clock hits, her lawyer is ready to go. $83.3 million. She is locked, cocked, and ready to rock. She's probably already sent the paperwork over to the sheriffs and the FBI and said, I want this done now. And they have to execute. So we'll see next week, because it might be that they're starting to seize his properties. It takes a while to do all that shit, but that'll lock him up. He won't be able to do anything with them. They'll be frozen. On top of the fact that he can't do business right now in New York. So,
might as well just seize him that property since he can't do anything anyway.
Yep. So